Cody getting that moment. I texted you before the match started. I said, this feels like the biggest match I've ever seen in person. The
Yeah.
stakes were just so enormous. So many people wanted Cody to get that. You got to know Cody a lot over your AEW tenure, a little more intimately. To see him climb the mountain, and especially under the circumstances in which he left AEW, where he was the most hated guy in wrestling, to becoming the most universally beloved. What did that mean to you as a colleague?
Just very happy for him. I like Cody. I got along with him good whenever he was in WWE. I obviously got along with him well whenever I went to work with him in AEW. After he went on his own and he bet on himself, he stepped outside the walls of Alexandria and said, I can do this. I can go out here and hustle, and I can rebuild myself in the image I want to. And he did that. He is one of the forefathers of AEW. Without Cody and the Bucks and Kenny Omega, you don't have AEW, and you don't have the current version of WWE that you have right now. If that's taken off the timeline. So yeah, a great respect for him. Have always gotten along great with Cody, and it was very fun to talk to him whenever he was getting into fatherhood and he was first having his kids and whatnot. Dude, it was the right choice, and I'm glad it finally happened. It makes it okay that he didn't win last year, that he won this year, and they were able to get him through that year, and he is as over as ever. He is a beloved figure, and he is currently the face of the WWE, and I'm very excited to see what he does going forward.
He's not the face of WWE. He's the face of pro wrestling right now. He's the biggest star in the industry. And that's a credit to a guy who walked out on WWE 8 years ago because he was doing a Stardust character. He was a comedy character. And he said, I see myself as a star. I can be someone who can be a top guy. And he went out and he did it. It took him 8 years, but he went out and he did it. And that's an amazing real life story. And, when I asked him in the press conference about why he feels that people resonate with his journey, he said it. He said, because it's a real story.
Yeah,
It's someone who really went out there and climbed the mountain. I thought it was amazing that he got to give the title to his mom since he couldn't give it to Dusty.
Yeah.
Just that's the beauty of when pro wrestling is great. There's just nothing better.
Did you hear that story too about how it said that Nick Khan and Hunter and everybody else, they went and they were able to buy. They found the Rolex that his dad had sold. To pay for him to go to acting school or whatever. I thought that was a very cool story, a very cool gesture.
They said Bruce Pritchard was able to track it down. I would suspect there was a certain Alabama man who probably helped track that thing down too. Just my hunch.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, he tends to be pretty on top of that stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to help track that puppy down.
Indeed.
Overall, Matt, I mean, would you say this is up there among the greatest Manias of all time?
It was a great outing for WWE. It was the new era. They wanted this WrestleMania to be the stamp of approval for the new era, and I think they hit a grand slam.
It's funny. I think if you look at this card, it was a pretty predictable card on paper, all things considered. If you were to run through it, you could probably pick out each match and confidently say who's going to win for the most part. But it also proves to show you that predictable isn't always bad, especially when you execute it well.
Sure.
That's a fantastic part about pro wrestling and storytelling in general, is that if something is good, if you build it, they will come.